Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. Now today I'm going to work with this Kraftin Kimmie Stamp of the Month. It is You Make Every Day Cool, and we've got the birch tree stencil, and we've also got the snowflake stencil that we're going to be working with. And I'm just bringing a piece of cardstock in, laying it down on my stencil mat, and I'm going to I'm going to first stamp my little stamp on here because I have created a mask for it and I'm going to build a scene around it. So I'm going to stamp it down here and then we're going to mask it up and then we will stencil around the mask is what we're going to do. So I'm just kind of centering it on my card base here, and I will trim it down so it won't matter. If it's not exactly right, we'll get it trimmed down and we'll stamp it up. I've got this new Versaclair black onyx ink, I think is what it is. And I'm going to get this stamped down on here. And it was nice and juicy, so it stamped really well. I'm just kind of giving it some extra presses there. And I'm going to get this cleaned off, and then we'll get our mask on there, and then we will begin to do our stenciling. So I'm just getting this wiped up real well with my rag and getting it put up. And then I'm going to pull my panel off and we'll get set up and do some stenciling. So it's Halloween. I'm doing the voiceover in Halloween. I did this card, I don't know, a couple days ago, but I didn't have time to do the voiceover yet. And so the boys went home and I've got a few minutes before everybody comes over. We're actually going to get some pizza, and the kids are going to bring the grandkids, and we're all going to hang out and see the trick-or-treaters and just kind of hang out. My kids don't really take their kids to very many places. They're going to see their grandparents, their great-grandparents, and their aunt, and that'll pretty much be it. So anyway, so we're going to have a little party. And we've got a busy weekend. We've got this little Halloween party here tonight where we're just, it's not really a party. We're just going to watch the trick-or-treaters. And then tomorrow night we've got a wedding. And then Saturday night we do have a little Halloween party where we're going to dress up and go. So it's going to be a busy weekend. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just bringing in my Lost Shadow, and I'm just stenciling the birch trees in the background of this. I think I could have just skipped this portion altogether because they really don't make a statement. They're just kind of back there. But I thought I wanted to try this. So you've kind of got the background there. And I should have done it in blue or black or something and really made them pop, but I didn't. But I am going to bring some blue in for the snowflakes. I'm going to use two different colors of Kraftin Kimmie inks for the snow colors. And I've got some new blending brushes there. Picked up some small ones. I think I got 12 pieces for $9 off Amazon because I needed some blending brushes that are for my non-distress oxide inks. And so I went ahead and picked these up. And I had extra till, so I'm using this kind of lighter blue on this one, and then I'll use the darker blue on the dark blue ink. And I'm just choosing just kind of randomly different snowflakes to do in one color and then different snowflakes to do in the other color. And I'm kind of avoiding, when I can, the big snowflakes. There's some really big snowflakes on here. And so I'm kind of just trying to pick the smaller ones out and just use them. And now I'm going to go in with the dark blue, and we'll add some more darker snowflakes on our panel. And there I picked up a big one because it had some ink on it. If I had accidentally got ink on the big ones, I went ahead and inked them up, but otherwise tried to just do kind of the smaller snowflakes. And I think this snowflake stencil would have been enough for my background. I didn't need those birch trees. And Pet's making chili for the party that we're going to on Saturday night. He wanted to make it in advance since we have the wedding tomorrow night, and it smells so good in the house. I just want to eat it. But that's not what we're having for dinner tonight. We're having pizza. So anyway, so I'll just pull that mask off. And I just used a sticky note and just put a little bit of tape runner on it and made my mask with that, and it worked out just fine. Now here I've got a panel, and I'm just going to freehand a little snow mound to go on the bottom of my card to give my little guy somewhere to be grounded. And I'm cutting the dip a little bit so it'll kind of follow the lines of his feet, and then we'll just get this laid down on here. And you can see with all the blue snowflakes, you can hardly tell what the birch trees are back there. But anyway, so I'm going to trim it off. It's I liked the way I had it laid, and so one side of it doesn't go clear to the edge, and it's hanging off the other. But I'm going to trim it down, and I've got that sticky on the back of there, and I was trying to keep from getting it on my guillotine. So I'm going to turn this upside down and just cut it upside down and try to keep that sticky off the guillotine, which I'll wind up getting it on there anyway, because I actually will cut this down again further once I see all my pieces parts. So there we've got our panel, and we've got our little critter on there, and I need to do some coloring on it. I did take the snow stencil. Yeah, you can't, I'm not sure you can really see it on camera here, but I took that stencil and I just dry embossed it. I just ran it through the die cutting machine and got an impression from the stencil on there, just to kind of re-emphasize the snow pattern, I guess. And I can see it in person. I don't know that you can see it on the camera or not, but anyway. So now I'm just cutting this down further because I want to see more of that snowflake pattern. And then I'll cut it down, because I with this card, I start out thinking I'm doing one thing, and I just kind of morph into something else, and then something else again, and eventually this winds up being a shaker card. I just hit my head on the camera, so the camera moved. And I'm just going to throw a little bit of that ink on here just to give my snow some shadow. And there, now we've got it. And I need to color this guy up. I haven't even colored my critter yet. So I'm going to take some blue and put it around the edges of this as well. I just really was all over the place with this card. I really didn't know what I was going to do with it. So here I'm just bringing in my tri-blend markers and just doing some really quick coloring on this. I did speed it up. It's a pretty small critter, so doesn't take too long to color. Just adding a little low lights to it. And then we're going to color his ears and his mouth in pink, and we're going to add a little teal blue outfit to kind of match our snowflakes. And then that'll finish our little guy up. I had a little spot there, so I used my colorless blender to try and clean it off. And then we'll get this laid down on this panel. I'm measuring it. It didn't quite line up exactly right. So, I decided that I was going to add another layer to it. That's what I decided to do. So I'm bringing in this glitter cardstock that I picked up at a rummage. And I'm going to just put a tiny little edge. I don't know, I think it's going to have 1/8 of an inch all the way around it, just so I could have an extra little layer, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I'm just eyeballing it, making sure this is what I want to do. I'm going to bring in some glue and get it laid down on there. And this is the stamp of the month for Kraftin Kimmie. I don't know if I said that or not, but she has a stamp of the month every month. And if you buy, I feel like it's $70 or $75 in product, she throws the stamp in for free. And they're quite, she's got quite a little collection of these stamps of the months. And we try to highlight them on the first of the month every month. And then I decided that I wanted to make it a shaker. And so I grabbed a full cover shaker panel. And I didn't have any of my cat scrappiness ones left, which are full size. But I had these pink and Maine, and they're actually smaller. I think it's 3 3/4 by 5 is what it is. So I had to trim it down. So I did trim off some of that frame, the blue frame on there. And I'm going to get it laid on there, and then we'll add some embellishments to it. And we're going to make it a shaker card. So I had no intention of making a shaker card today, but this is the direction that I had it in. So I pulled off all 3 sides of the tape and left the bottom one on there, and I'm just going to wrap it around the card panel. And then I'll leave the top one open so that I can put my shaker bits in there. So I'm just getting it pressed really well. And then we've got this protective covering over this that you need to remove. So my shaker, right now it looks kind of film. It's a film, so it looks kind of foggy or filmy. And I'm going to pull it off. And there we go. And now we've got a nice window to look through. Now I grabbed some of my cat scrappiness sprinkles and dots mixes. I've got this teal and white mix here, and I'm also going to bring in some teal colored dots, and I like the sound of the dots, so that's why I wanted to add the dots. They make a good sound to your shaker card. And so we're just going to mix these up, put them in a triangle tray, dump them in there, figure out if we've got enough. I'm thinking I might had a couple stray dots run away. And I'm going to put some more of these sprinkles in here. And then that'll finish off the shaker part of that. And then we'll just press that top down. And I'm going to bring my bone folder in and give it a good press so that everything's stuck down nicely. And there's basically our little shaker card with our little guy in there. And we're going to bring in, I'm just going to bring that same blue back in, and we'll just lay our shaker down on that. And I've got a top folding A2 size card. I'm going to score it at 5.5. And then we'll get our card assembled. You can see I brought my glue gun back, my glue press back in. I had kind of put it on a timeout because it was kept clogging on me, and I did some cleaning, and it's working well now, so I'm using it again. Now I ran some tape runner on there just to make for some quick hold, and then we'll have the glue on there for the permanent hold. And I'm just going to get it laid down on the card base. Had a little bit of that tape runner stick in there, so I had to tuck it in. There's something going on with that upper corner. Just giving it a good press, and there we go. We got all of our little shaker bits in there, and now we just need to add a sentiment. So I've got this piece of paper that I cut the snow mound out of, and I'm going to just take our You Make Every Day Cool sentiment, and we'll just, I'm going to use the acrylic block, and this VersaFine Clear is really good ink, so I can just ink it up real quick and get a good press. And then we're good to go. So now I'm going to bring in just one of my little die cuts, sentiment dies, and get it laid down on there. We'll just die cut this out, and we'll get it added to our card. I love this little die cinnamon set. It's actually from This Calls for Confetti, and it has all the different sizes in there. You can just grab them and do your little sentiments with. It comes in really handy. So I'm just going to position this on our card. I'm just going to use the tape runner because it'll stick better to the acetate. And I'm just going to lay this down here at the bottom of the card, and then that'll finish off our card. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.